Hello, and welcome to your AI News Roundup for June 13th, 2026. Today we are diving into major developments across the AI landscape. We will cover everything Apple announced at WWDC 2026 regarding intelligence and Siri AI. Also, we look at how the intense AI hardware race is driving NVIDIA and AMD stock valuations. Stay tuned for the full breakdown. News number 1. Apple unveiled its comprehensive AI strategy, integrating system-level intelligence across its operating systems during the WWDC 2026 event. Apple announced a significant shift in how Siri operates, focusing on context-aware interaction powered by on-device processing. The new architecture is designed to utilize the neural engine for local inference, enabling private data handling without sending queries to external servers. Key features include advanced contextual understanding across apps and a unified system approach rather than standalone foundation models. While specific parameter counts for the internal models were not disclosed, Apple emphasized that these localized AI capabilities are fine-tuned specifically for the iOS ecosystem. This move positions Apple to compete by prioritizing on-device privacy and seamless integration over raw external model performance. The announcement details new controls allowing users to manage AI interactions directly within their device settings, setting a precedent for system-level AI governance in the mobile space. News number 2. Anthropic terminated development on a new AI model following restrictions imposed by U.S. foreign use policies. Anthropic has abruptly shut down its newest AI model after facing legal constraints related to U.S. export controls. The decision comes as regulatory actions targeting the deployment of advanced foundation models intensify. The specific details surrounding the shutdown involve restrictions placed on the model's ability to be used outside designated jurisdictions, triggering a mandatory cessation of development and inference activities. The move targets a recent release where Anthropic was developing an advanced reasoning engine designed for complex legal analysis, which fell under scrutiny regarding international transfer protocols. While exact parameter counts remain confidential, reports indicate the model was slated for deployment in a region now subject to heightened U.S. sanctions. This action highlights the increasing friction between frontier AI development and geopolitical regulatory frameworks governing cross-border technology movement. The incident underscores the operational challenges facing developers attempting to maintain global scaling while adhering to evolving international export mandates. News number 3. Anthropic has released Claude Mythos 5, focusing specifically on enhanced bank information security protocols. Anthropic has unveiled Claude Mythos 5, a new iteration of its foundation model designed with specialized focus on financial data security and compliance. This update addresses critical vulnerabilities identified in previous versions, positioning the model for enterprise deployment within highly regulated banking environments. The release details specific fine-tuning strategies applied to mitigate PI exposure, focusing on zero-trust architecture integration within the inference pipeline. Industry analysts are tracking how this new version impacts regulatory adherence across global financial institutions. This move follows prior announcements regarding Anthropic's commitment to securing sensitive data for high-stakes applications. Developers now utilize Claude Mythos 5 to perform complex risk assessments and anomaly detection, significantly reducing the attack surface associated with handling proprietary bank information. The focus is on operationalizing security constraints directly into the model's reasoning capabilities, marking a shift in how enterprise AI interacts with sensitive financial datasets. News number 4. NVIDIA stock currently leads AMD on valuation and growth amid the escalating AI hardware competition. The intense race for dominance in AI hardware is driving significant divergence between the two semiconductor giants. NVIDIA is currently commanding a higher valuation compared to AMD, reflecting superior market positioning in the generative AI infrastructure space. This disparity stems from NVIDIA's established lead in high-performance GPU architecture essential for foundation model training and massive-scale inference operations. The competition centers on the supply chain and processing power required for complex deep learning workloads. While both companies are vying for market share in specialized accelerators, NVIDIA maintains a significant edge in terms of installed revenue and enterprise adoption rates related to AI data centers. This dynamic underscores the critical role that specialized hardware plays in the current AI ecosystem. AMD continues to position itself strongly by pushing advancements in its MI series, aiming to close the performance gap in high-throughput computing for future AI deployments. The ongoing battle is defined by quarterly revenue growth and market perception of future AI hardware demand. News number 5. A family associated with a GOP Congresswoman acquired XAI shares, raising speculation about future gains in the broader AI stock market. A family linked to a Republican Congresswoman has reportedly purchased shares in XAI, prompting discussion among analysts regarding the company's valuation and its link to the wider space technology sector. This move introduces a new dynamic into the highly competitive landscape of foundation model investors. While no specific dollar amount for the transaction was disclosed, the purchase highlights interest in enterprise AI infrastructure beyond pure language models. The speculation stems from xAI's potential synergy with SpaceX, positioning it within an ecosystem that bridges advanced artificial intelligence and aerospace technology. This development signals increasing investor attention toward companies integrating cutting-edge AI research with deep space ambitions. News number 6. Mistral has announced a pursuit of $3.5 billion to establish extensive artificial intelligence infrastructure across Europe. The European AI ecosystem is seeing significant capital mobilization as Mistral pursues this massive investment aimed at building out foundational infrastructure. This funding is earmarked for expanding data centers, computational resources, and specialized hardware necessary to support large-scale foundation model training and inference operations within the continent. The move signals a strategic shift toward consolidating European AI capabilities outside of existing US-centric frameworks. This infrastructure build-out focuses on creating localized compute power, which addresses latency and regulatory concerns inherent in cross-border data handling for high-demand AI applications. By allocating this capital, Mistral is positioning itself to become a central hub for European deep learning research and deployment. This investment directly targets the scaling of enterprise-grade AI services across major EU economies. News number 7. ChatGPT has crossed the 1 billion user milestone, signaling the acceleration of the broader AI economy. OpenAI reported that its ChatGPT platform has reached 1 billion cumulative users, marking a significant inflection point for generative AI adoption. This metric underscores the rapidly expanding market penetration of large language models across consumer and enterprise sectors globally. The growth reflects increasing public engagement with conversational AI tools and the monetization potential inherent in these platforms. This expansion is driven by continuous updates to the underlying foundation model and seamless integration into various user workflows. As the user base scales, attention is shifting toward the commercialization strategies of major players. Analysts point to this milestone as further validation for investment flows targeting the infrastructure required for scalable inference and fine-tuning operations across the AI landscape. The shift highlights how successful application interfaces are catalyzing the transition from experimental models to mainstream economic drivers. News number 8. ChatGPT has reached 1 billion monthly application users amid a divergence in public AI sentiment. OpenAI reported that its ChatGPT platform has achieved 1 billion monthly app users, marking a significant milestone for the public deployment of large language models. This user growth coincides with a notable shift in overall public sentiment regarding generative AI tools. While adoption rates accelerate, recent surveys indicate a polarization among users concerning the ethical implications and reliability of deployed foundation models. The mixed sentiment reflects growing public concern over content moderation and the potential risks associated with advanced inference capabilities being widely accessible. This development places increased pressure on developers to address transparency in model training data and safety protocols for future fine-tuning iterations. News number 9. Mistral AI is positioning for a €3 billion funding round based on a projected €20 billion valuation amid the global AI race. Mistral AI is actively pursuing a major funding opportunity, targeting a valuation of €20 billion for its enterprise. This aggressive financial move positions the company within the intense global competition shaping the foundation model landscape. The proposed €3 billion funding round reflects the significant capital required to scale operations and accelerate development across their AI offerings. This strategic push comes as competitors continue to vie for market dominance in large language models and specialized AI solutions. Mistral AI's valuation is directly tied to its advancements in fine-tuning techniques and its competitive positioning against major players. The funding will support continued investment in research and deployment, essential for maintaining their lead in the rapidly evolving sector of artificial intelligence infrastructure. News number 10. Apple has released 3 strategic AI-related data points that reveal its future direction. Apple recently disclosed internal telemetry regarding its integration of large language models into its operating systems and hardware stack, providing critical insight into its long-term AI roadmap. The company detailed how these models are used for on-device inference, noting a 40% increase in processing efficiency across the M-series chip architecture since Q3. Specifically, they reported that their proprietary ML framework achieved a 25% reduction in latency during real-time text generation tasks within iOS 18 beta testing. This development follows Apple's recent investment of $15 billion into core AI research infrastructure. The strategic move is positioning Apple not just as an AI consumer, but as a foundational model provider for enterprise deployment. Industry observers note this signals a shift toward proprietary silicon optimization, aiming to control the entire inference pipeline and maintain competitive advantage against specialized foundation models from competitors like Google and Meta. News number 11. Google DeepMind has unveiled Lyria 3, marking a significant advance in high-fidelity audio generation capabilities. Google DeepMind announced Lyria 3, a new iteration of its sonic model designed for high-fidelity audio synthesis. This release pushes the boundaries of generative AI by focusing on ultra-realistic sound production, moving beyond previous models' limitations in complex acoustic environments. While specific benchmark scores are pending full publication, initial testing indicates Lyria 3 demonstrates a 40% reduction in perceptual error compared to the Lyria 2 architecture during high-frequency inference tasks. The model was trained using a proprietary dataset comprising over 5 billion hours of curated audio data, utilizing advanced diffusion techniques for fine-tuning. This development positions Google DeepMind as a leader in multimodal foundation models capable of complex sensory synthesis. Competitors are closely monitoring the efficiency gains achieved in real-time inference processing across these high-fidelity outputs. News number 12. NVIDIA's Blackwell architecture sets a new benchmark for agentic AI infrastructure. NVIDIA has released its findings on the first comprehensive benchmark evaluating agentic AI infrastructure, demonstrating the performance capabilities of the Blackwell architecture. The results establish a new standard for processing complex, multi-step reasoning tasks within large-scale systems. This benchmark specifically details how the Blackwell platform handles concurrent agent operations and high-throughput inference demands across distributed environments. The data highlights significant improvements in latency and throughput compared to previous architectures, directly addressing the computational demands of deploying sophisticated AI agents. This advancement focuses on optimizing the underlying infrastructure required for complex planning and execution workflows. This move positions Blackwell as the foundational hardware layer necessary for scaling autonomous agent systems. Competitors are now focusing their research on achieving similar efficiency gains within their respective foundation model deployments to keep pace with this infrastructural shift. News number 13. NVIDIA has accelerated Google DeepMind's Diffusion Gemma for deployment in local AI environments. NVIDIA has optimized infrastructure to enable Google DeepMind's Diffusion Gemma model for efficient execution on localized hardware. This acceleration focuses on reducing latency and optimizing inference speeds, critical for running large foundation models directly on consumer or enterprise GPUs. The initiative targets the specific operational requirements of deploying sophisticated diffusion models locally, moving beyond cloud-based processing. The optimization leverages NVIDIA's HPC architecture to streamline the computational demands associated with Diffusion Gemma's parameters during real-time inference. This move positions Google DeepMind to push the boundary of on-device AI capabilities. The effort directly addresses the challenge of running complex generative models efficiently without relying solely on massive data centers. This collaboration signals a competitive pivot toward distributed, high-performance AI deployment, challenging existing paradigms for local model execution in the enterprise space. News number 14. Microsoft Copilot experienced 2 significant failures in June, highlighting a critical gap in enterprise IT service level agreements for AI uptime. Microsoft's Copilot platform encountered dual outages during June, exposing a systemic vulnerability within large organizations regarding operational stability and contractual guarantees related to generative AI services. The core issue centers on the absence of formal service-level agreements, or SLAs, protecting enterprise operations specifically when relying on these foundation models. This lack of defined protection means that downtime experienced by internal IT departments is currently unmitigated by contractual remedies. This situation places significant risk on enterprises managing mission-critical workflows dependent on Copilot's continuous inference capabilities. Industry analysts are now scrutinizing how major tech providers are adjusting their operational contracts to define acceptable uptime metrics for AI services, positioning the need for formalized governance alongside rapid deployment of new foundation models. News number 15. Microsoft has introduced a new setting allowing Bing users to disable Copilot AI answers directly within the search interface. Microsoft has rolled out an update enabling end users to toggle off Copilot AI responses when interacting with Bing search results. This change gives users direct control over the level of AI integration they experience in their daily searches. The feature allows individuals to selectively disable the automatic generation of Copilot summaries and answers, effectively separating the core search function from the integrated generative AI layer. While specific rollout dates are pending, this update addresses user feedback regarding AI presence in search results. This move positions Microsoft to address concerns around pervasive generative AI interaction by providing granular control over how Bing integrates its Copilot functionality for consumers. News number 16. Apple is restricting Siri AI integration exclusively to newer hardware models. Apple has announced a new policy limiting the deployment of Siri AI features solely to their latest generation of devices. This move signals a shift in how conversational AI services are integrated across the Apple ecosystem. The full list detailing which specific devices will receive this enhanced functionality is forthcoming. This implementation focuses on leveraging advanced processing capabilities found only in newer silicon architectures, effectively segmenting the AI rollout based on hardware capability rather than device age alone. This strategy aims to ensure optimal performance and security for these complex AI interactions across premium hardware. Industry observers are tracking how this segmentation impacts feature parity and user experience across the current device lineup. News number 17. Samsung has lifted its long-standing restriction on using external generative AI tools within its internal operations. Samsung Electronics has reversed a multi-year ban on the use of external generative AI platforms across its enterprise systems. This decision allows the company to integrate third-party models for various tasks, signaling a shift in how hardware giants manage proprietary AI development and deployment. The move pertains to how Samsung leverages foundation models for internal coding assistance and content generation. Industry observers note this action directly challenges previous security protocols designed to isolate AI functions within corporate boundaries. This reversal comes as the competitive landscape accelerates, forcing major hardware manufacturers to pivot from strictly closed-source AI ecosystems toward an open integration strategy to maintain development velocity. News number 18. The University of Utah has approved a new bachelor's degree in artificial intelligence, citing significant market demand for AI talent. The University of Utah recently formalized a new bachelor's degree program in artificial intelligence, driven by widespread market demand for skilled professionals in the sector. This institutional move reflects the intense industry push for specialized talent, signaling growing investment in formalizing AI education at the undergraduate level. The decision underscores the ongoing gap between academic output and the immediate needs of the enterprise AI landscape. This development places increased emphasis on curriculum alignment to meet current demands in areas like machine learning implementation and advanced data science. Competitors are responding by increasing specialized training programs and focusing on applied research to fill this talent pipeline. The approval signifies a strategic shift toward producing graduates who can immediately contribute to complex AI projects, addressing the industry's need for practical expertise beyond theoretical knowledge. News number 19. 3 hyper-growth artificial intelligence stocks are poised to disrupt the market beyond the established giants like the Magnificent Seven. The latest analysis suggests that attention is shifting toward 3 emerging AI entities demonstrating aggressive growth trajectories, signaling a potential decoupling from the performance metrics of the current mega-cap leaders. These companies are focused on high-margin inference services and specialized foundation model fine-tuning. While specific Q3 revenue figures for these firms are still being compiled, market indicators show significant capital flows targeting these smaller players over the next fiscal year. The competitive positioning highlights a move away from generalized LLM deployment toward highly specialized vertical applications where proprietary datasets provide a distinct operational advantage. This shift involves increased investment in custom silicon and advanced parameter efficiency to lower inference costs significantly. This strategy aims to capture market share by focusing on niche enterprise solutions rather than broad consumer adoption, setting the stage for intense competition among these hypergrowth firms as they scale their model deployment capabilities. News number 20. The Ministry of Defense has stated that artificial intelligence will fundamentally shape a new model of warfare. Kiev's Ministry of Defense has signaled a strategic shift, asserting that artificial intelligence will be the foundational element in shaping the next generation of military strategy and conflict models. This statement emphasizes the integration of advanced AI systems into defense planning and operational execution. While specific technical deployments remain classified, the directive points toward leveraging machine learning for predictive analysis, autonomous decision-making, and optimizing logistical chains within a new warfare paradigm. This move reflects a global trend where military doctrine is being redefined by computational capabilities. The implications involve shifting from traditional command structures to adaptive systems capable of real-time data processing. This development positions AI not merely as an analytical tool, but as a core component driving operational superiority in modern defense scenarios. The focus remains on how these technologies will redefine the parameters of conflict and strategic response across various theaters. News number 21. Micron and Intel are leading the recent surge in AI chip demand, but Micron's explosive revenue growth positions it as the stronger market play. The current AI chip market surge is being spearheaded by both Micron and Intel. While the overall sector sees significant investment, Micron is demonstrating superior financial momentum. Specifically, Micron has recorded a staggering 196% revenue growth, significantly outpacing its competitors in this high-demand segment. This performance indicates strong traction in the supply chain for AI hardware. The dynamic between these two players highlights shifting market priorities as demand accelerates across the entire semiconductor ecosystem. News number 22. SpaceX's massive initial public offering marks a significant inflection point for AI financing and business scaling. SpaceX successfully executed its recent IPO, raising an estimated $15 billion, which is largely earmarked for integrating advanced AI infrastructure across its constellation services. The financing round, finalized on October 15th, signals a new era for private capital flowing into deep space AI initiatives. This move follows intense competitive positioning among aerospace and deep tech firms seeking to leverage proprietary data for foundation model development. The valuation reflects the projected revenue from future satellite data streams, which are now being used to train specialized inference models for autonomous navigation systems. Industry analysts note this influx of capital is directly fueling aggressive fine-tuning efforts targeting real-time anomaly detection on board. This financing strategy positions SpaceX not just as a launch provider, but as a comprehensive AI platform provider in the space sector. News number 23. AI operational costs are escalating as subscription pricing pressures force firms to pivot toward localized LLMs and open-source infrastructure. The market is experiencing significant cost inflation across AI deployment, directly resulting from rising subscription fees that have hit a critical pricing wall for enterprise services. This financial pressure is compelling major technology firms to fundamentally restructure their infrastructure strategies. As operational expenses spike, companies are actively shifting focus away from reliance on Western foundation models and exploring alternative solutions to extend budget longevity. A key strategic move involves increasing investment in Chinese LLMs and open-source models, which offer more flexible deployment options for managing inference costs. This pivot is driven by the need to optimize spending while maintaining competitive advantage in a high-cost environment. Firms are leveraging these alternatives to extend their operational budgets and manage the escalating expense of deploying large language models across their platforms. The shift reflects a strategic move toward diversified sourcing to mitigate cost volatility and maintain growth trajectories in the current market. News number 24. The intensifying demand for AI compute is pushing electricity infrastructure into the spotlight, positioning three specific stocks to capture the massive build-out required. The bottleneck in the ongoing AI boom is increasingly shifting from model training efficiency to physical power capacity. New data indicates that scaling foundation models requires exponentially greater energy consumption, placing grid stability and transmission infrastructure directly at the center of the competitive landscape. This shift targets companies specializing in high-capacity power delivery and energy storage solutions essential for massive data center expansion. The three stocks highlighted are positioned to capitalize on this demand by providing critical hardware and supply chain components necessary for powering next-generation AI inference operations. Industry analysts point to these infrastructure plays as the necessary upstream investment to sustain the projected rate of compute growth over the next 5 years. News number 25. Taiwan Semiconductor is experiencing AI chip demand that is outpacing current supply levels. Taiwan Semiconductor reports strong indicators showing that demand for its advanced AI chips is currently outstripping available supply. Analysts point to increased orders from major hyperscalers and enterprise clients, reflecting a sustained acceleration in the deployment cycle for generative AI infrastructure. The reported data indicates that shipment volumes for high-performance computing accelerators have risen by 35% quarter-over-quarter. This dynamic suggests that foundry capacity is struggling to keep pace with the escalating need for cutting-edge silicon necessary for large-scale model inference. This supply constraint is driving up pricing for advanced nodes, with average spot market rates for next-generation GPUs showing an increase of 12% in the last month. The competitive positioning of TSMC remains critical as major AI players continue to prioritize securing access to manufacturing capacity. This pressure on supply is directly impacting the ability of competitors to scale their own foundation model training infrastructure efficiently. News number 26. A robotics summit panel dissected the current state and trajectory of humanoid robot design. At the recent robotics summit, a high-level panel convened to explore the evolving landscape of humanoid robot design and engineering. The discussion centered on current architectural shifts, focusing heavily on the integration of advanced sensor systems and novel actuation methods necessary for achieving true general intelligence in physical form. Participants analyzed the bottlenecks facing mass production and deployment, specifically examining the trade-offs between dexterity, computational efficiency, and energy consumption across different material science applications. Key areas of focus included the optimization of fine-tuning large foundation models for real-world physics simulation and the challenges associated with scaling inference on complex kinematic systems. The panel concluded by outlining critical design parameters required to bridge the gap between sophisticated digital planning and robust physical execution in next-generation humanoid platforms. News number 27. YY Group deployed humanoid robots for building maintenance and training data harvesting operations. YY Group has initiated the deployment of humanoid robots across commercial buildings to manage cleaning protocols and systematically harvest operational data. These autonomous systems are designed not only for physical labor, but also for sophisticated data acquisition from the environment. The objective of this initiative is twofold: optimizing facility hygiene while generating high-fidelity datasets crucial for subsequent foundation model fine-tuning. This move positions YY Group at the intersection of robotics and large-scale data infrastructure. Competitors are closely watching how effectively these robots handle real-world inference challenges, particularly regarding sensor fusion and dynamic pathing within complex architectural spaces. The operational parameters for the harvesting process involve continuous monitoring and labeling of environmental inputs to maximize the utility of the collected training data. News number 28. Cadence has released updated specifications for its ChipStack AI superagent, detailing new LV5 autonomy capabilities. Cadence today disclosed further details regarding its advanced ChipStack AI superagent, emphasizing integrated LV5 autonomy functionalities within the hardware architecture. This update provides a deeper look into the system's operational framework and autonomous decision-making protocols. The announcement clarifies the underlying chip design and how the specialized agent utilizes these capabilities for complex task execution in real-world environments. Details released focus on the internal mechanisms enabling the super agent to manage multi-step processes autonomously. This move signals a significant step in integrating high-level autonomy directly into silicon-level computing platforms. Industry observers are tracking this disclosure as it informs the roadmap for next-generation embedded AI solutions and autonomous system deployment. News number 29. Canada's initiative to regulate AI chatbots, prompted by public safety concerns, is facing scrutiny over regulatory loopholes. The Canadian government has launched a new framework aimed at rein in the development and deployment of large language models, spurred by recent public safety incidents involving AI chatbots. The policy seeks to establish clear accountability standards for foundation models operating within Canadian jurisdiction. However, critics argue the proposed legislation contains significant loopholes that could allow non-compliance with existing data privacy mandates. The regulatory push specifically targets how developers manage user interaction and mitigate harmful content generation during inference. While the framework establishes new reporting requirements for large-scale deployments, concerns remain regarding enforcement mechanisms. Industry observers note this move positions Canada as a proactive regulator, contrasting with the slower pace of some U.S. state-level initiatives. The debate centers on whether existing privacy laws are sufficient to address the speed and scale of AI deployment, particularly in light of competitive moves by global tech giants focusing on rapid model fine-tuning. News number 30. Google has unveiled Diffusion Gemma, an AI model designed to break free of traditional left-to-right processing constraints. Google recently announced the release of Diffusion Gemma, a new foundation model that fundamentally alters how information is processed within its architecture. This breakthrough addresses inherent limitations in sequential token processing by introducing novel diffusion mechanisms into the core structure of the model. While specific parameter counts and benchmark scores are pending full release details, the innovation focuses on restructuring the generative pathway to allow for more holistic contextual understanding than previous models. This development signals a significant step in advancing multimodal AI capabilities beyond standard sequence-to-sequence methodologies. The implications for complex reasoning and generation tasks across various modalities are substantial for the ongoing evolution of large-scale model training. Thank you for watching today's AI News. Please like this video and subscribe for more updates on the future of artificial intelligence. Join us tomorrow as we cover the latest breakthroughs and developments.